school football here on Dorr Cable Channel 36 and Eastern Connecticut Cable Channel 25 in the New London area. And it's time to put down the drumsticks and pick up the pigskins Thanksgiving night. And we've got a matchup for you here between the Fitch Falcons and the New London Whalers at Dorr Field in Groton. For the Fitch Falcons, for the first time in quite a while, they're the favorites here. They've got the better of the two records, but New London comes in winning 3 in a row. Bill?
Yes, they do, Sam. Fitch Falcons are 7-2 on the season. New London High School Whalers started out 2-4. They're now 5-4 on the year. By the way, happy Thanksgiving to all our viewers on Eastern Connecticut Cable 25 over the New London side, and the Dorr Cable viewers here in Groton on Channel 36. And should be a good matchup. Both teams have speed. They've got the quickness, and that's what's going to make today's ball game a lot of fun.
All right, we'll be back with more of our pregame show right after this.
Speed offensively, but the key matchups today, Damian D'Angelo, the quarterback from New London, against Anthony Wilson. They can both throw the ball extremely well. For the Fitch Falcons that you've seen on Dorr Cable, they've got great running backs in Mike Scott and
Mike Jones,
G.Drab. And for the Northern Whalers, Aaron Hairston has been the one that's come aboard these last couple of weeks as their premier running back. So looks good.
All right, one of the things we have to mention is the field conditions. Not frozen, but there's a brisk wind going from our left to our right. And also, for the teams moving from our right to our left, they'll be in the sun field early on. And they may have trouble passing because looking back into that sun is a very tough job spotting the football.
Those will be the factors they'll take into consideration when they have the toss of the coin. And they'll take that into consideration as to which way they go in the beginning. And the things are thawing out here. It was frozen when we first arrived a little bit after 8 this morning, but seems to be shaping up right now.
And, Bo, on the lighter side, I understand there was a little presentation before the football game here. What's this all about?
Well, Mike DeMoro from the Day has named Steve McDermott of the Fitch Falcon coaching staff as the Transportation Commissioner of the ECC, and this is the bus that they presented him this morning. And congratulations, Steve McDermott. Keep up the great work.
Where are they going to fit all those kids on that bus?
Well, Steve's going to have to work that out. One of his first jobs will be making sure that everybody fits on this bus.
Okay, not a very easy task indeed. Well, we're just about set for this one. Coming up in just a couple of moments here from Dorr Field and Groton, it'll be the kickoff between the Fitch Falcons and the New London Whalers. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this. The starting lineups first. The starting offense for the visiting New London Whalers.
Thank you, Sam Gingerella, and again, happy Thanksgiving to all of our viewers tonight. The New London High School Whalers have won 3 in a row. The quarterback is number 10, Damian D'Angelo. He's a good one, 6'3", 200-pound junior, and 7 touchdown passes on the year. Several people will be looking at in the backfield. The number 1 running back, number 35, is Aaron Hairston, a 6'1", 175 junior. He'll be joined by number 7, Luis Martinez, a 5'7", 155-pound senior. Sam Franklin's a 5'8", 160-pound senior. And number 3, one of the tri-captains, Eric Cornish, 5'7", 150 senior. And we also may see Damon Hastings in the backfield, 5'8", 165 junior. Looking at that offensive line, Sean Roach, number 45, 6'2", 205 senior. Jackson McAdam is one of the tackles, 6'4", 282, and he's a big one. He's a junior. Zach Gragan, one of the guards, 6 foot even, 220 junior. The center, and number 68, Ed Nenner, 5'8", 185 senior. On the other side of the line, number 51, A.J. Romanofsky, 6'1", 180 junior at guard. The other tackle is number 52, Foster Price, 5'8", 205 senior. And the other end, number 42, you'll see a lot of him today, Joe Bustamante, 4 touchdown passes in his last game, 5'7", senior, 165, and he also threw a touchdown pass. So Bustamante, the key to that Whaler offense.
And there you see the Fitch Falcons being introduced before the hometown crowd here at Dorr Field. And starting for them defensively this morning, at your left defensive end will be number 9, the big fella, Brian Hopkins, 6'4", 210, and a senior. The other lineman in the middle is G.Drab, number 33, 6 foot even, 205 pounds, and a senior. Ali Rivera, number 64, a 6 foot, 205-pound senior. And the right defensive end is number 60, Akiti Coward. He is 5'10", and 175, just a junior. Your linebackers are number 16, Tim Bridgers, 6 foot even, 165-pound senior. In the middle is number 75, John Liddon, 6'2", 180, a junior. And number 76, Matt Gibbs, one of the co-captains, 5'9", and 185-pound senior. The other linebacker is number 30, Kamisi Good, 5 foot 8 inches tall, 160-pound sophomore. Your deep people, the corners, the number 4, Mike Scott, 5'9" and 160, a senior. The other corner, Rob Duncan, number 15, 5'9", 145, a sophomore. And back at safety, number 7, the 5'9", 180-pound sophomore, Anthony Wilson, who is also, of course, your starting quarterback. Now we're going to go down on the field momentarily for the coin toss.
While we wait for that, we'll go over our officials. Jack Barkley, Jim Butler, Warren Whitey Whitehouse, Bob Spring, and Jeff Walsh, our officials for today's ball game.
All right, and just moments away from the coin toss. Pretty good crowd here this afternoon, or this morning.
Or this evening, as you're watching us.
That's right.
And in Thanksgiving Eve action, the Norwich Free Academy Wildcats over the St. Bernard Saints by 3 points.
Assume it down, I'll throw it in the air. You call it in the air. If I drop it, I'll throw it again, okay? Call it in the air. He called the tails. It is a tail. You want the ball. You want the ball, okay? What ball do you want to defend? Okay? Black down here, white down here. White is one, and then receive, okay? Black to pick down. Okay, here we go.
Well, there you have it. The New London Whalers have won the toss.
The captains out there today for the New London High School Whalers. Number 3 was Eric Cornish. Number 42, Joe Bustamante. Number 45, Sean Roach. And number 72, Joe Edwards.
So the New London Whalers will receive the football. And they will be have their backs to that sun field. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for the Whaler pass receivers to look back and get a good look at the football, especially here in the first quarter with the sun just beaming right down in there. It's like a laser beam out there.
Yes, it is. And last year, Sam, the New London High School Whalers defeated the Fitch Falcons 13-0, and the Fitch Falcons looking for their first win over New London since 1986 when they won that year 27-12, and I believe that was the last year of Theodis Dixon.
Ah, yes. Remember Theodis very well. Went on to play for Furman. I understand had a pretty good career down there.
Yes, he did. And the key to today's game, they match up well against each other, and it's Thanksgiving. Fitch Falcons must stop number 42, Joe Bustamante of the New London High School Whalers.
And for the New London defense, they've got to stop a whole host of people. A lot of folks do some yeoman work in that Fitch backfield. We saw plenty of it in the Ledger game. Here's the kick. Fielded inside the 20, coming out across the 40-yard line. His number, I believe it was that 45, Sean Roach? No, 25, excuse me. DeMont Hastings on the return. So it's 1st and 10 for the New London Whalers at their own 40-yard line. Damian D'Angelo, the quarterback, number 10. First play from scrimmage for the Whalers. They fake the reverse and keep it on the fly down the far sidelines. Plenty of running room. Could he go all the way? He's knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line. And the New London Whalers strike gold on the first possession.
Aaron Hairston, Sam.
Number 35, Aaron Hairston. I didn't pick up the number until late because it's so bright, it's hard to see those green numbers.
Eric Cornish will get in and give Aaron Hastings a break after that great run, and that was from the 40-yard line, so great quickness.
Pickup of 60 yards on the play, 1st and 10 from the 11 for the Whalers. And boy, it's going to be tough picking up numbers on the backs of these Whalers today, so if I'm a little slow with that, please forgive me. That pass intended for the far side, knocked down by, I believe, Brian Hopkins. Brian, 6'4", he needed all of it to get up there and deflect that pass, intended for Bustamante.
Joe Bustamante, as we mentioned, against the Killing Redmen, received 4 touchdown passes and also threw for 1, so he'll be the key receiver today of Damian D'Angelo.
So it'll be second down and still 10. The ball just outside the 10-yard line for the Whalers, who busted 140 yards on the first play from scrimmage, and they're down in the red zone. Second and 10 from the 11. They'll hand it off to Hastings, and he'll have very short yardage inside the 10 to about the 9. Brian Hopkins there first for the Falcons. 11 minutes and 6 seconds to go, just underway first quarter. No score from Dorr Field and Groton.
Fitch Falcon defense being tested immediately as Aaron Hairston on the first play of the ball game from scrimmage ran 60 yards for the first down. Fitch Falcon defense digging in now.
Luis Martinez is split to the far side, a straight eye in the backfield on third down and still about 9 yards to go. They can get a first down without the touch. Here's the throw intended for Bustamante, incomplete. Good coverage back there. They had double Joe that time, Bobo.
They'll be doubling him, and that was Mike Jones. Had a little problem coming up with his name in the pregame show. I think it has to do with being cold and being early, but we'll get warmed up as this game goes, and the Whalers will have a fourth down here from about the, 11, 12 yard, about 8-yard line.
Do you go for it on fourth, or you try to go in and get the 3 points?
Go for it.
Okay.
Going for the field goal.
They're going to go for the field goal. Bustamante will attempt from the 18. This will be a 38-yard field goal. Good snap. Kick is up. He's got the distance, and he's got the field goal. Bustamante kicks it from 38 yards out, and the Whalers come downfield with their first possession, and they get the field goal. They lead it 3-0. Break in the action. 10:34 to go here in the first quarter. Your score: New London 3, and the Fitch Falcons nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Pizza on the run. This is Chris. How may I help you?
This is the TDD operator.
It took an act of Congress to order this
I
pizza.
have an order for pizza.
An act that guarantees people with disabilities access to everyday things, whether it's getting into a building, getting a job, or just using the telephone.
Olives, green peppers.
Thanks to your support through Easter seals, even ordering a pizza can be a pretty historic act.
And pineapple.
3-0 your score, as Bustamante kicks a 28-yard field goal. I think I said 38. 28-yard field goal. 18-yard line and plus the 10 of the end zone. 28-yarder, and it's 3-0 Whalers.
Yes, and with a kicker like Bustamante, it's almost automatic. So look for the Whalers, if they get in close like that again, to continue to let Bustamante, who's a great kicker, go for the field goal.
All right, he kicks this one along the ground. It'll be picked up, knocked around by Jones. Hall, rather, picked up by Jones, and he's knocked down about the 26-yard line. And so far, these Whalers look like a fired-up bunch, Bill.
Yes, they are fired up. And on defense, Gil Vargas did tell me that they will be watching anybody in motion. They'll be having a back rotating with anybody that is in motion, try to keep or contain that Fitch Falcon running game.
All right. A little bit of a late arriving crowd here, but starting to fill in on both sides here at Dorr Field. The handoff goes to, let's see, Drab. And he's got short yardage, maybe a yard or two.
Drab.
Number 68 made the stop, Ed Nina, from his linebacker position.
Nina, a good one, anchors that defensive line for the New London High School Whalers. And again, Drab likes to go up the middle. Mike Jones one side, and Mike Scott the other side. And Anthony Wilson can throw with the best of them.
He'll be throwing into the wind a little bit. It's kind of a crosswind, so I don't think it favors either team right now. Hand off to Drab again, and this time a little bit more on an off-tackle slant play. Pretty good yardage for Kevin. Out to about the 35-yard line. We'll bring up a third down, about 3.
Falcons know that the New London High School Whalers has good speed, good quickness on defense, therefore trying to pull them out just a little bit so that they've got Drab running up the middle as opposed to trying to sweep the ends and the ground is kind of frozen.
I just called Greg Kevin, excuse me. Drab once again. And I don't think he's going to have his first down. He was stood up right at the line of scrimmage, able to push forward just a tad, but Ed Netta once again knocking heads with Kevin Drab, and that'll bring up fourth down. They'll be about a half-yard shy.
So the Fitch Falcons know that Whaler defense does have the quickness. The field is kind of frozen. Won't give the good field conditions, good running game for the Scott and Jones in the backfield, so that on the first series of plays, Greg Drab handles the ball 3 times, and they come up just a little bit short, about 4th and 1.
But as the day wears on and the sun comes up a little bit higher in the sky, I'm sure the field will be softening up just a bit. Wilson back to kick it away, fumbles the snap, and he's going to have to run it, and the Whalers will have it inside the Falcons 30-yard line. So the London Whalers, the underdogs here, having things all their own way in the early going. 8:22 to go, and they have it back in great field position at the Falcons 29-yard line, just inside the 30. We'll call it the 29.
If you just joined us, the Whalers scored on their first possession. Aaron Hairston with a 60-yard run set up a 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Joe Bustamante put the Whalers on the board with 10:34 on the clock with a 28-yard field goal.
1st and 10 for the Whalers, and back to throw, D'Angelo, and that one batted down again by Hopkins. And if they want to throw to that right side, they're going to have to get somebody to cut block on Brian Hopkins, because he's going to come in there and knock that pass down every time.
Yep, both teams with excellent throwing quarterbacks, so the defenses will be looking forward, and again, a lot of pressure. What they're going to have to do is put pressure on the quarterbacks today.
So the deflected ball will be 2nd down and 10.
Bustamante will get double coverage. Sean Roach will get double coverage, so D'Angelo's got his work cut out trying to find an open gold helmet out there.
Bustamante is wide out to the near side, and Martinez to the far side on 2nd down and 10. They'll hand it to Hastings. Ed Cornish, and Cornish picks up about 5 down to the 25-yard line.
Eric Cornish, one of the captains of the Whalers. Whalers in the white shirts with the green trim, gold pants. Fitch Falcons with the black shirts, white numbers, and gray pants. And with the sun, a little difficult picking up some of the numbers.
Oh, little difficult. It'll get a little bit better as that sun rises a little bit higher in the sky. Here's Martinez on the sweep. He'll have his first down. As he's down inside the 20, it'll be 1st and 10 Whalers. I believe Greg Drab is the one that finally hog-tied him down, but not before a first down for the Whalers. Surprised at all that Whalers have all the momentum here in the early going.
They have the momentum, Sam. I'm not surprised. They're coming off 3 big victories, including last week's 32-26 win over the Killingley Redmen, in which the Whalers had 300 yards passing, and that wasn't last week, about 10 days ago.
Okay, 7:04 to go, 3-0. The Whalers lead it. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Damon D'Angelo barking signals, loses the football, and the Falcons have it. I believe it was number 9, Brian Hopkins, unless it squirted away. Yes, indeed. Brian Hopkins picks up the loose football, and the Falcons get a break. They'll take over at the 22-yard line.
And Hopkins has been in that New London backfield all morning long, or all game long, and they're going to have to stop him in the center of the line.
So Fitch takes over on the turnover at their own 22. Let's see what Wilson and company can come up with on their second possession. Wilson back to throw, rolls out near sideline, looking downfield, had Rogers Cox open and threw it just a tad too high and incomplete.
Fox that time with double coverage by Aaron Hairston and Sean Roach.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Falcons go in the air on the first down play. And as we mentioned, both quarterbacks, I believe, with 7 touchdown strikes on the air, so they'll be throwing it today because both defenses are tough and it's going to be hard to run against them. Actually, 9 touchdowns apiece for Wilson and D'Angelo.
Second down and 10. The pitch to Jones, loses the ball. Who's got it? The Whalers say they got it, and they do. So the Falcons give it right back to the Whalers on the fumble. Inside the 20. Wow.
So the Falcons 3-0 on their first possession, get a big break as they fumble as the New London Whalers were getting into scoring territory and come right back and give the ball back. Actually, the Whalers took the ball back from the Fitch Falcons.
And the field announcer said it was Tyree Fletcher who picked up the loose football. So we'll go with that, the unofficial call. First and 10 Whale. Back to throw. Over the middle, picked off. Mike Jones has it. So 3 consecutive turnovers, and the Falcons have it back as Mike Jones steps in front of the D'Angelo pass and brings it back out to about the 14-yard line. So back and forth we go with turnovers here, Bo.
Certainly are, and I'm just keeping track of the turnovers here and back-to-back recoveries of fumbles, and this time an interception by Mike Jones, so the Falcons have it back.
3-0. Whalers lead it on a 28-yard field goal by Joe Bustamante. Here's the pitch to Mike Jones. This time he's got some running room. Cuts it back against the grain. Jones still on his feet and out near the 40-yard line. And finally they get a little running room. And Jones picks up about 30 yards out to the 36-yard line. So from their own 13 or 14 or their own 36 or 7, what's that, 15 yards?
About a 15-yarder.
First and 10 at the 36. Jones will try the near side. Gets a good block, and he's up near the 45-yard line. Tripping him up is number 83, Mike Barnhill, defensive left end, for the nice shoot-top tackle.
Falcons on their first possession went to G.Drab on 3 plays, and this time opening up a little bit, giving it to number 8, Mike Jones. And Jones again with the interception. And Falcons getting close to the New London territory. This will be their best field position of the ball game.
The 44-yard line, it's second down and 4. Drab trying to get the handoff, but the ball popped loose, and Anthony Wilson had to hop on it. So all kinds of strange and wonderful things, not so wonderful, I should say, happening. Fumbles, interceptions, could be the cold conditions. The ball is always very, very hard and hard to hang on to when it's this chilly.
Certainly is, Sam, and everything has to be precision today because both teams know that if they don't take it on the first clean handoff that they may be popped right away, and I'm sure that's on their minds.
Lost 2 yards, so it's third down and 5 now. Pitch goes to Jones. He had trouble with the handle, but then picks it up, got the first down and more. Luis Martinez runs him down, but not before he gets it to the New London 40-yard line. So Martinez makes the tackle, but it's a first down for the Falcons at the New London 40, and that's the first time they've been in New London territory. And the Whalers defense calls a timeout. So we've got a break in the action with 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Your score, New London 3, Fitch nothing. Back in 30.
The Bailey Agency, David.
Tape games available to you, so give us a call at Star Cable 36.
Just popped my head out of the booth. Good crowd out there filling in. Here's Jones again, hurdles the line, picks up about 3 or 4 yards. And a host of Whalers in on that tackle.
And the first hanky of the ball game.
Oh no, the dreaded hanky. I think Zach Gregan and Mike Barnhill. 73 and 83 and on the stop. And a holding call against the Falcons. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, you did. And the officials, Jack Barkley, Jim Butler, Warren Whitey Whitehouse, Bob Spring, and Jeff Walsh. And happy Thanksgiving to them and their families and everyone watching us on Channel 25 and Eastern Connecticut Cable and Star Cable 36 over here in Groton. And thank you for being with us.
So they march off the 15-yard penalty back to the 50-yard line. So it'll be first down and 25.
And Sam, I had an offer that I'm still thinking about.
An offer?
An offer.
An offer. All right.
Catch the second half of that New London Waterford game. Excuse me, East Lyme Waterford game.
Okay. Back to throw under the gun and going to be sacked as Wilson Could not get it off. Number 7 is Martinez coming on the blitz. Number 7 on number 7, Anthony Wilson. Could not get away from the rush. And now we've got 2nd down and a country mile.
Last game of the regular season for both of these teams, and up until now they've had a chance to scout each other, and Gil Vargas and that London defensive team does a great job year in and year out. One of the strengths of any championship team is defense, and they know exactly what to do against these Fitch Falcons.
Well, they certainly have had some of the answers here in the first quarter, as they're leading it 3-0, and the Falcons have been unable to get their offense into high gear. Back to throw on 2nd down is Wilson. He's going deep. He's got a man, McCoy, wide open. Touchdown, McCoy. My, oh my, 60 yards, and the Falcons break into pay dirt.
A beautifully thrown ball that time by Anthony Wilson to Calvin McCoy, who was wide open. And Sam, I was just about ready to credit the Whalers with that timeout to take the momentum away and set up the play, but I'll tell you what, McCoy, or Mike Emery, had a chance himself to talk to his team, and just perfect strike by Anthony Wilson.
And I shouldn't say wide open. The man had a step on Aaron Hastings, but that ball just perfectly thrown. Hastings could do nothing but watch that play.
What a pass.
A beautiful 60-yard scoring strike, and it's 6-3 with the extra point attempt coming. Anthony Hall does the job. And we've got a break in the action with 2:46 to go here in the first quarter. The score now, the Fitch Falcons 7, the London Whalers 3. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Automotive repair. Call National Tire.
We are back at Dorr Field in Groton. Sam Gingerella, Bill Donovan, and some of the brave souls who are ignoring this cold weather and viewing the annual Turkey Day tilt between the Whalers and the Falcons. 7-3 your score. The Falcons leading it. Bill?
And Sam, Al Vescovi stopped by today. Again, the Thames Award will be awarded to one of our outstanding players the last 2 years. Ambrose Fletcher from the Illinois High School Whalers. Just before that, Shea Saunders and Jamal Johnson.
Oh, what a name that is.
Certainly is.
Remember Jamal very well. What a running back he was. Back inside the 20. Return man is out to about the 30-yard line. Damon Hastings running it back.
And a little trivia question to our viewers out there. The only Fitch Falcon to receive the Thames Award since 1981 is... There's only one,
look.
Sam.
Let me look.
Only one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We mentioned
We're
his
going
name
to let
earlier.
our fans guess?
Yep, let them think about it for a little while.
All right.
And then from 76 through 80, that was dominated by the Fitch Falcons. We'll mention those names as the game progresses.
All right, it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for the Whalers, now trailing it by 4. Hand off to, I believe that's Hastings. Not much running room. Picked up maybe a yard. And as the sun begins to get a little bit higher in the sky, it's a little bit easier to read the numbers. And it was Hairston 35 rather than 25. I may have to go to the monitor to start picking up some of these Whaler numbers.
Good picture right there, the Whaler huddle.
Yep. Number 79 is Jackson McAdam.
73.
He's only 6'4", 282.
He's a big one.
And
73.
he's a junior.
Who's 73?
73 would be Zach Gregan.
There he is. And the Whalers have their first chance to see themselves on Star Cable this year. And next year we've got to try to get the Montville Indians and the East Line Vikings on. The only two teams in the area that did not get on Star Cable this year. And we'll try to take care of that next year.
Yep.
Or maybe in basketball.
Only got 10 games. It's tough.
Championship game football on Star Cable next week. So
Next
make sure
week,
you stay tuned to that one. Ledyard Curls will be there and will be there.
It'll either be Hand or Maloney, the opponent. That ball is loose again. Trouble on the exchange from center. Damian D'Angelo hops on it.
And it's tough to tell there, Sam, if the center pulls or the quarterback drops back. But that was a similar fumble to what the Fitch Falcons experienced just a few weeks ago here against the Ledyard Colonels, when it looked like the Falcons were on a drive to win that ball game that they ultimately lost 46-40, and that was a heartbreaker.
And I'll tell you, when the weather's cold like this, that ball becomes almost like a block of concrete. Very tough to handle. It gets hard as a rock. And it's just very slippery. And I got to believe that's a factor. This is Hairston again, and Hairston close to a first down. Let's see where they mark it. It's on 3rd and long. They just went with a straight draw play right up the middle, and Hairston comes up about a yard shy, and they'll have to kick it away.
And unofficially for the Whalers, they have just one first down. That was on that 60-yarder, first play of the ball game by Aaron Hairston, and then the Fitch Falcons on their second possession came back twice for first downs. Michael Jones running for him, and then that touchdown pass from Wilson to Calvin McCoy, and Falcons lead at 7-3.
Bustamante gets the kick away, and Mike Jones just going to look at it, roll dead at about the 32, 33-yard line. And we'll have maybe one more play before the end of the first quarter. So the Fitch Falcons will take it over, leading 7-3 at their own 30, we'll call it 32-yard line. If you're just joining us, Joe Bustamante kicked a 28-yard field goal early in the first quarter after New London's opening drive stalled at about the 10-yard line. Bustamante came on and kicked a 28-yard field goal. Then just moments ago, it was Anthony Wilson going to his split end Calvin McCoy for 60 yards and the go-ahead touchdown. Well, that's the end of the first quarter from Dorr Field in Groton. Your score, Fitch Falcons 7, New London Whalers 3. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this.
The number 3 cause of death for all Americans, big and small, is lung disease, including lung cancer. Lung disease doesn't kill quickly. Its victims just fade away. The number 1 cause of hope for lung disease is the American Lung Association, but they can't live on hope alone. Are we coming in loud and clear? The American Lung Association. It's a matter of life.
Colleen has waited 20 years for this bus. Now, thanks to the Americans with Disabilities Act, the wait is over.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, from chilly Dorr Field in Groton. Fitch Falcons leading this one 7-3. On the strength of a 60-yard touchdown pass from Wilson to McCoy moments ago. Second quarter just underway. Here's the pitch to Jones, and he's got short yardage.
And McCoy and Cornish on the opposite side of the field as McCoy was going out for a pass, and Cornish staying with him step for step as he was running backwards. And a little discussion after the play.
Number 72 is Joe Edwards, who made the stop for the Whale.
Good look at Jack Barkley going back into the backfield, the referee for today's ball game. I have a tough time with my tongue this morning, Sam.
Gee,
still
straighten it out.
Still frozen.
Second down, and we'll call it 8. Wilson on the keeper. Now he pitches it out. And on the far sideline, is that Mike Jones, number 8?
Yes.
Yes. Jones gets about 3 yards away from the flags. It'll be third down and 3.
Big Whaler defensive line and good linebackers, good back, a lot of movement in the backfield of the Golden Whalers, and both teams checking each other out here in the early stages of the second quarter. The Fitch Falcons lead at 7-3 after Bustamante hit for the first field goal of the ball game, 3-0, and then 7-3 Falcons.
Here's Jones. Mike Jones with running room down the sidelines. Jones could go all the way, 1 man to beat, and a flag very late. We'll have to check out what that is, but Mike Jones, a great carry down to the 20-yard line. Down to the 15.
Whalers are signaling it's against the Fitch Falcons.
But it was very, very late, so I believe he'll still have enough for the first down anyway. Unless they bring it all the way back. The flag was thrown very late in the carry.
And they're bringing the ball back.
Yep.
Flag down right about the New London 30-yard line. It looks like they're marching it off from there.
Yep, the point of the foul. They march it 15 yards back to the 44-yard line of the Whalers, but still more than enough for a first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 44 instead of about the 15. So they keep the football, but certainly the field position is quite a difference on the penalty. Right in front of us now at the 44, 1st and 10 for the Falcons, who's now finally getting the offense going. Mike Scott on the pitch. Scott with good running room, and Scott has a first down near the 30-yard line. They're starting to run that off-tackle sweep, and it's beginning to work, Bobo.
Certainly is. Mike Jones with the first down, and then Mike Scott, the M&M boys in the backfield with the first down. So the Fitch Falcons with that 7-3 lead on their second possession look good. We did, by the way, Sam, have a couple of fumbles and an interception in the early stage of that first quarter. Now the Fitch Falcons moving the ball on the Whaler 31-yard line.
10 minutes even to go. Second quarter, 7-3, Fitch leading it. They'll pitch it to this side now. And again, student body to the right side. And Scott is finally run out of bounds around the 10, maybe 12-yard line. So they're starting to run those pitch sweeps, and they're starting to pick up good yardage. The Whalers have yet to solve that wide run play for the Fitch Falcons.
And with the Falcons not having men in motion, it's helped out their offense, because DeLondon, as Gil Vargas told me, was going to use multiple looks in the backfield. Do have the quickness on both sides, but must be good blocking on the part of the Fitch Falcon leading men.
They're getting a lot of people out in front and just forming a convoy. It's 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Man in motion to the near side is Bridgers. They hand it to Drab right up the middle, and he just pokes his head forward to about the 10-yard line. 9:40 to go here in the second quarter. Hope you're enjoying this one on Storer Cable Channel 36 and Eastern Connecticut Cable Channel 25 on this Thanksgiving night. Everyone's nice and full.
Hope you all went out for
turkey dinners.
Hope you all went out for a walk this afternoon.
Yeah. Walk off that turkey dinner. Put that drumstick down.
And Steve Douglas told me before the game today he couldn't wait till tonight. He can't wait for that turkey.
I believe it.
Good look at Wilson.
Second down and about 6 yards to go. Here's the pitch to the near side to Scott. Trying to get that corner, and he's tripped up on a beautiful play by Sean Roach, who got him just by the shoe top and tripped him up. Otherwise, it looked like Scott had enough running room to get at least a first down, maybe a touchdown.
This drive for the Fitch Falcons started on their own 32-yard line with just a few seconds left in the first quarter. They've had 3 first downs: Mike Jones, Mike Scott, and Mike Scott.
And looks like maybe an official timeout here with 8:46 to go.
And we should give the answer to that question. In 1986, the Thames Award presented to Theodis Dixon of the Fitch Falcons.
He was quite a running back. He was almost as wide as he was tall. He's about 5'4", he weighed about 205, and he had legs like tree trunks.
Low center of gravity, too.
Oh, yeah. G.Drab with the carry. Drab had a tiny little crack in the defense, but it filled up real quick. Number 52, Foster Price, defensive tackle, the first man there. I think Joe Neno, or rather Ed Neno, was also in on that stop. Drab got it just outside the 5. It'll bring up 4th down and about 1.5 yards. And will the Falcons go for a field goal? No dice. On 4th down, they're going to go for it. The pitch goes to Scott. He's in trouble. Scott, not much running room. He was not going to get his first down. That play was doomed from the start, as the Whalers had good penetration on defense. Mike Scott had nowhere to go on that pitch play that time, as the Whalers defense did well, and they'll take over at their own 5.
A lot of white shirts in the backfield that time, Sam, and didn't fool anyone. And maybe next time they'll go for a pass by that, because, as you mentioned, a lot of quick pursuit. Excellent defense that time by the Whaler line and backfield.
So the Whalers have their backs to the wall here.
That they do.
1st and goal at their own 5. Or rather, 1st and goal. 1st and 10 from their own 5.
1st and 95.
That's right. The handoff goes to the halfback, Hairston, and maybe a yard, if that.
And this is a situation where I'm sure old Joe Bustamante, number 42, would like to show his open field running if he can get a nice pass play from Damon D'Angelo.
Well, this is a place that you usually have the middle of the field open. If a tight end, a crossing pattern, something along those lines, with the linebackers pinching down and the defensive people trying to come up to make the stop, usually the middle and the middle part of the field is usually wide open for a pass play. Here's Martinez with the carry. And Louis gets it out near the 8-yard line. Had a crack in the defense again, but closed up very quickly by Brian Hopkins.
So as we get a chance in, we'll throw some names from the past. The Thames Award started in 1959. Ed Braun from New London. And in 1960, Bill Butchka. Let's take a look at 1961 and 62. Gary Cousin from the Fitch Falcons and Pete Stockwell. In fact, then it might have been the Fitch Tanagers.
3rd down and long, facing the Whalers at their own 8-yard line. D'Angelo will throw it. Got a man open. That's Sean Roach. Picks up a first down, does he? Let's see. Going to be just about a yard shy, I believe. He went out of bounds about a yard, maybe 2 yards shy of a first down. So it'll be 4th down, and the Whalers will have to punt it. Nice catch by Roach, but just didn't run the pattern deep enough.
Got the good hands, and let's go back to 1963. Billy Foy, New London High School Whalers. 64, Dave Connors, the Whalers. And 1965, John Ellis from New London High School.
Bustamante will kick it from his own goal line. Somebody breaks through the line, and Bustamante does a great job just to get it away, but it was tipped. And this will be a short kick out to about the 35-yard line. But breaking in from the right side was number 68 on the special teams. And I don't have him on my roster here, but one of the Fitch Falcons broke free and forced Bustamante to double clutch on the punt. He did get it underway, but it was a short kick. And the Falcons have great field position at the London Whaler 34-yard line.
So the Whalers, with their back to their own end zones, not able to do much with it, ended up having to go 3 and punt.
1st and 10 at the 35, and a great hit on Scott by Sean Roach. Mike Scott saying, how do you do?
And Roach coming from the end position, and again, they do move on defense, but no one hit Roach that time. He was in the backfield and made the unassisted tackle. You look at Brian Hopkins, number 9. And number 55 is Dennis Dickerson for the Fitch Falcons.
So it'll be 2nd down, still 10 yards to go for the Falcons. They fake the pitch, and back to throw is Wilson. Rogers Cox could not catch it. It was a high thrown ball, and back into that tough sun. Rogers Cox looked like he had a pretty good look at it, just a little bit too tall on the throw by Wilson.
Cox on the crossing pattern, Wilson a little bit high in the throw, Hopkins a little bit deep that time, and he was looking for it. Hopkins will take a break. And Fitch Falcons, another passing down here. Or if they come our way, a little reverse.
3rd down and 10 from the 34-yard line of the Whalers. Again, Wilson under pressure, gets away from it. And finally going to be hauled down. My goodness gracious. Anthony Wilson does not get the first down, but I tell you what, with that effort, he should have.
Kept the feet moving.
My goodness.
Wilson's fired up.
I thought he was trapped in the backfield. Then he looked like he was down at the 30. Finally dragging people inside the 25, and he's, about a half yard short of a first down.
Looked like Sean Roach, number 45, was going to sack him, and then good movement that time by Wilson, and as you mentioned, just dragged a few people, and they'll measure.
Yeah, if he doesn't get it, they should give it to him just for the effort. My goodness, what a run by Wilson. They stretch out the sticks, and I think he's got it. No, maybe not. Boy.
4th and an inch, 4th and 3 inches.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I'm Mike Embry, I'm saying, what the heck? I can get 3 inches. Right?
G.Drab?
Sure. All he's got to do is fall forward.
Put a quarterback keeper after that run.
Yeah. I'd let Anthony take it. So it's going to be 4th down, and they are going to go for it. 4:33 to go here in the first half, 7-3. The Falcons lead the Whalers on Thanksgiving Day morning. And it is Wilson, and he will have the first down, as he just followed his center and guard and picked it up easily and got it down to about the 21-yard line.
I should have been a coach, Sam.
Yeah.
Maybe,
okay.
maybe in my next life.
Yep, maybe.
High school football being brought to you on this Thanksgiving Day. Fitch Falcons lead the Whalers 7-3. Mid stages of the second quarter here from Dorr Field in Groton.
And boy, I tell you what, the crowd really filled in nicely. Because earlier this morning, there was no one here. Uh-oh, fumble. Ball's loose. Let's see, it looks like, I think I saw a black jersey fall on it there. I think
Mike Scott was on it.
Yeah. Just able to cover the ball. If they lose a half yard, it'll be 2nd down and 11.
We've had a fumble by each of the two teams and an interception by the Fitch Falcons. So we've had a couple of turnovers here early in the ball game, but
right.
That's the first one here in the second quarter.
And we've had a 28-yard field goal by Joe Bustamante and a 60-yard touchdown pass from Wilson to McCoy, and that's where we get our 7-3 score here. Wilson with the pitch out to Scott. Scott trying to get the right side. And he's out of bounds down near the 15-yard line, just inside the 15. And again, I'm losing my headset. How about you, Bo?
Just a little fuzzy, but I've got
yeah.
Look at this Thanksgiving Day crowd, Sam, and as you mentioned, they did turn out. And
They waited till the last minute, and who can blame them when it's this cold out?
I wonder how the ECC Transportation Commission is doing. I've got his bus up here in the press box.
Oh, boy. You guys. 3rd down and short. Wilson hands it to Scott, and a great defensive play by number 73.
No, 83.
83, excuse me, Mike Barnhill. A great defensive play, and that'll deny a first down. It'll bring up 4th down and almost 3.
And Sam, we want to keep Frank Ficini busy day and night. If you'd like a tape of today's ball game, 449-1477 are the numbers. Nice Christmas gift for your favorite football player.
And the Falcons come up on 4th down, and something was askew, and they call it timeout. So with 2:15 to go here in the first half of play, your score, Fitch 7, New London 3. We'll be back with more after this.
They do, and all the scoring thus far in the first quarter of play. Joe Bustamante on the Whalers' first possession kicked a 28-yard field goal. And then the Fitch Falcons came back with 2:46 left in the quarter on a touchdown strike from Anthony Wilson to Calvin McCoy. The 10th touchdown pass of the year for Anthony Wilson. Anthony Hall's kick for the extra point was good, making the score 7-3 in favor of the Fitch Falcons.
And as we said, they're looking for more here as they've got it 4th down and about 3 yards to go just outside the 15-yard line. Wilson will go to the air for it. Loops it down, corner of the end zone, incomplete, intended for Bridgers. And the Whalers hold, and they'll take over. And that time it looked like Wilson just threw it away as Bridgers was double covered.
Yep.
So the Whaler offense will come back onto the field, and they've got about 2 minutes and 9 seconds to work with here. Back at their own 15, do they gamble and put the ball in the air, or play it close to the vest and go off in halftime only trailing by 4?
Well, good time to do it is on first down as far as I'm concerned. It kind of sets the pattern for the rest of the series, but with Bustamante and Sean Roach, two really effective receivers, it looks like the Fitch Falcon defense is handling the runner right, so let's go to the air.
All right. And this is the time of the game where Bill Mignault and the Legend Colonels used to like to go to the air, and they still do. But the Whalers will keep it on the ground. This is Hastings trying to get outside and not doing a very good job of it as the Falcons defend him well. They had 3 or 4 people out there. Hopkins finally brought him down, but they had plenty of folks out there, including Ian Young, number 24, to make the stop.
And Aaron Hastings, number 35, will be a marked man for the Northern High School Whalers in this ball game, so they'll be keying on him, and that again should open up the passing game. And as we mentioned earlier, the Whalers with 300 yards passing against the Killing Redmen, so that we know that Damian D'Angelo can light it up.
They lost a yard. It'll be 2nd down 11. For the Whalers, their own 14-yard line. Hastings is the deep man in that I position, and he gets the call. And not much running room at all. He's going to lose some more yardage. As Hopkins again made the call, made the tackle.
In the backfield, a little diddly-do back there with the ball, and that
what was that again?
Diddly-do.
Diddly-do.
And that gave Hopkins a chance to get back and put the added pressure on D'Angelo.
A diddly-do.
Diddly-do. Whoop, whoop, and try to throw it. And didn't fool anyone, especially Brian Hopkins. Defensive player of the game
like
so
John
far.
Madden now, diddly-do.
Diddly-do. Look at the Whaler huddle.
Not much time left, 1:08 to go. And now the Fitch Falcons with a 3rd and long here. If they move in and stop the clock, force them to punt out of their own end zone, maybe they can be in business.
Number 68, Ed. A few people.
All right. I don't believe it. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
And if I don't know him, I want to meet him.
Save a little turkey. We'll be home in a couple hours. 3rd down and long for the Whalers. Almost 15. They go with a little trap play to Hastings. And Hastings pulls them out of the deep in their own territory. Going to be short of a 1st down, but a good little run by Aaron Hastings as they pulled a draw play, and it worked very well. I mean, not Hastings, but Hairston. I'm sorry. So Hairston on the draw play comes up short of the 1st by about a yard, I think.
No, they got it.
Oh, they did get it. Okay. So they pull out a 1st down on that 3rd and long. They
nice
go
ball.
with the draw play. Yep.
Timmy Reardon runs the offense, went in there and talked to the team, and nice blocking at the line of scrimmage and open up that big hole for old number 35. He's right down in front of us now, and he's a little fired up.
Aaron Hairston. I had Hastings and Hairston combined.
And believe it or not, Aaron Hairston has the only 2 first downs for the Whalers unofficially here in the first half of play. He had one on the first possession, and he had one just now.
All right.
Other
He had
than
that long 40-yard run, didn't he?
We thought it'd be a wide open game with the passing. Yes, he did, and I think it was closer to 60 yards, but thought we'd have a wide open game passing. Maybe we will in the second half, but the first half has been just, for the most part, 3 and out. A couple of fumbles, a pass interception, one long scoring drive by the Fitch Falcons, which started on their own 25-yard line, then the touchdown strike to McCoy from Anthony Wilson, and
a beautifully thrown ball.
Oh, a spiral, everything.
Yep.
Couldn't ask for any more. And what a crowd! Nice crowd. You were concerned. You were worried.
Yeah, there was a lot of people disguised as empty seats here when we got here this morning.
But it filled out nicely.
Yep.
A couple more names: Ted Hall, and then Bobby Long, Juan Madry, Tim Lewis, Steve Carboni, Kent Rays, James Lewis, Michael Foy, Reggie Elkelston, all from the New London Whalers, recipients of the Thames Award back in the 70s, late 60s and 70s.
Now let's see if the Whalers will put it up. Now they have better field position. Yes, they're gonna. D'Angelo under the gun, gets away from the rush. Now he's gonna run it. He's pushed out of bounds right about the line of scrimmage. And flags. Looks like we might have a little extracurricular against the Fitch Falcons. Somebody might have gotten there a little bit late.
And I'll tell you, Tim Donnarumma almost got involved in that one, too. That was right
That was
down
our
by,
cameraman, yeah?
Right down by our cameras.
Timmy's got quick feet, though. He got out of the way.
That's one of our double Ds. We got Donnarumma on one camera and Douglas on the other. Double D cameraman.
Oh, old Flat Top is down there. You can't see the Flat Top today, though. He's got the old mitten hat, keeping his head warm.
Frank Fulchero, top side above us.
Yep. We get everybody in. Frank Ficini in the truck.
And Frank is in the van. And that, surprisingly, against the Whalers.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought for sure it'd go the other way. Normally,
what was the call?
Must have been a personal foul.
All right.
I'll give him second about 20, 21.
We were talking about the cameraman. I forgot to watch the referee there. 35 seconds to go, and now the Whalers probably will just run it out as it's back at their own 10. Second down and about 35 yards. And they'll run that draw play again. And Hairston this time knocked down after a gain of 3 or 4. G.Drab reached up and grabbed him around the ankle and tripped him up. And the clock will run. That'll probably, excuse me, be the last play of this first half.
And Sam, let me round out the 70s. Joe Addison from the Fitch Falcons, Steve Burke, Mike Gaylor, Bill Johnson, and Brian Barnaby, all recipients. And then we'll take care of the early 80s for the Whalers.
Right, Joe Addison was a big name.
Yes, he was.
Went on to play some college football at UConn.
Let's wrap it up now. Ron Shorter, 81, Lou O'Neill, 82, Dan Venditto on 83, David Small in 84, and Mike Fadgett in 85. And we have now taken care of all the former Thames Award recipients.
And we have taken care of the first half as well. That's the end of the first half of play here at Dorr Field in Groton. Got a good one going. Hope you're enjoying it. Your score after 2 quarters, the Fitch Falcons 7 and the New London Whalers 3. Back with more after this. Just about set here for second half action from Dorr Field in Groton. 7-3, the Falcons lead it. And they'll get the ball to start the second half. Beautiful kick by Bustamante. And Anthony Hall fields inside his 10. Gets it out to about the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. And that's where the Fitch Falcons will put it in play, 1st and 10.
So, which player will be the recipient of the annual Thames Award? We'll find out in our post game. And last 2 years, it's belonged to the New London Whalers, Ambrose Fletcher.
Great little running back.
And happen to see James Bunacore Jr. He got the award in 1990 and Shea Saunders in 1989. So it's belonged to the Whalers for about the last 6 years.
1st and 10, Falcons at their own 24. They'll go on the cross buck, that counter tray action to Mike Jones, and it's going to be close to a first down. As Jones takes it out to about the 35. Let's see where they mark it. I believe he'll have enough for a first. And there's a good shot of Mike coming back to the huddle. Nice work, young man. Picks up 9 yards. They'll say he'll be about a half yard shy of that first down.
And Jones with 3 of the first downs for the Fitch Falcons. Mike Scott with 2, and there was a, I guess that was it. All on the ground.
Anthony Wilson takes a look at the defense. Takes a look back at his offensive people and then quickly just called the timeout. So we've got a break in the action. 11:06 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Your score, the Fitch Falcons 7 and London Whalers 3. We'll be back after this.
Please join me in supporting the 1993-1994 United Way campaign. Together, we can make a difference. This year, more than most, the people in southeastern Connecticut need your help. By volunteering your time and donating your funds, you can make a dramatic difference. Thank you.
And the crew here from Channel 36. Hope you're enjoying this one on Thanksgiving Day night. 7-3, Falcons leading the Whalers. And they have it 2nd and short. Here's G.Drab. Big hole. Drab up near midfield. Breaks the tackle into Whaler territory at the 43-yard line. And that was one of the biggest holes I've ever seen G.Drab get up the middle. Nobody even touched him.
Took the Whaler defense by surprise. And Sam, let's mention the officials. They love to do the games on TV. Jack Barkley, Jim Butler, Warren Whitey Whitehouse, Bob Spring, and Jeff Walsh.
And we were in with the referees at halftime. They said they were having trouble keeping a clean ball in the field. A lot of stick-em going out there, and of course that's illegal. No foreign substances allowed. Here's Mike Jones breaking tackles. Jones could go the distance. One man to beat. He's got a touchdown. Mike Jones puts the Falcons up 13-3. A 43-yard touchdown jaunt by Jones to start things here on the first possession of the second half for the Fitch Falcons. And with the extra point, they could go up by 11. Anthony Hall ready to kick it. He's got it. So with 10:27 to go here in the third quarter, the Falcons move out to a 14-3 lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Picking it up, finally gets the handle on it inside their own 20.
Last year, the Northern High School Whalers shut out the Fitch Falcons 13-0, and Fitch looking for their first victory over the Northern Whalers since 1986. That was a score of 27-12, and Theodis Dixon in the backfield that year for the Fitch Falcons.
And what a great running back he was.
Yes, he was.
He was
one of the
something to
best.
watch.
One of the best we've seen. So the Whalers now have to see if they can answer. The Fitch Falcons now with a comfortable 14-3 lead. Fitch Falcon defense has been stingy, and let's look for Damian D'Angelo to go the air and look for either Bustamante or Sean Roach.
He has the wind to his back. 1st and 10 at the 20, just inside the 20. And that is going to be Hairston, and Hairston up to about the 20. Pickup of 2, it'll be 2nd down and 8. Whalers playing a little too close to the vest, maybe, Bill?
More conservative than what I thought they would be, because again, we mentioned in their last victory against Killingley, that was their 3rd in a row. They had 300 yards in the air and have stayed pretty much on the ground here today.
Yep, haven't seen too many pass attempts. Of course, they've been in their own territory quite often. They give it to Cornish this time, and Cornish, so on the inside, on the near sideline, picks up about 4, maybe 5 yards. Brian Hopkins makes the stop. Hopkins having a nice little football morning.
Yes, he is. He's had a great game defensively.
3rd down and about 2, a short 2 for the Whalers. 8:54 to go here in the third quarter. 14-3. The Falcons leading it, and they've been doing it from long distance. 2 long touchdowns. The one in this half on the ground, and last half through the air. 60 and 43-yard touchdown plays. Is that Cornish again? Looks like he's close to a 1st down.
No, that was Hairston.
Okay. And they're going to bring the chains on and take a look at it. Or are they? They've got the 4th down sign on the near sideline, but they are going to bring the sticks on a measure, and you'll get a good look at it. Maybe we can get Tim Donnarumma to get a shot of that measurement.
So we've
Maybe
had
not.
we've had a score by a field goal by Joe Bustamante of the Whalers, and we've had a touchdown pass from Wilson to McCoy, a long one, and also a nice run, 43-yard run for a touchdown by Mike Jones of the Fitch Falcons.
People have dressed according to the weather conditions here.
Everybody thinking about turkey.
Yep.
An apple pie or chocolate cream pie.
Mincemeat pie. Pumpkin pie.
Comes once a year. Love that Thanksgiving Day dinner.
Thank goodness for my stomach. So they're going to be about a half-yard shy, and they're going to go for it on 4th down, deep in their own territory. So a key call here for the Whalers. 4th and short. And I believe they picked it up. That's Hairston with the carry, and Hairston gets out to the 39-yard line, and he'll have his 1st down. So a gutsy call there by head coach Jim Bunicor. Well, they are going to measure. It looked like to me that he got it easily, but they're going to bring the sticks on again.
Looks like it's going to be close, Sam. Close enough to measure, and now they just move the ball just a little bit.
And they got it. 1st down. So the Whalers pick up a 1st and 10. at the 29-yard line. And with 8:10 on the clock rolling here in the third quarter, if they hadn't have picked it up, that would have been a very, very key call.
Certainly would have been, and unofficially, it's only the third first down of the ball game for the Whalers, and Aaron Hairston has all three of them.
1st and 10 from their own 29. Up back gets the call.
And that defensive line of Litton, Hopkins, Drab,
Sam Franklin on that carry.
Rivera, and Coward doing a nice job. Help from Matt Gibbs, Kamisi Good, and Tim Bridgers, and on occasion Anthony Wilson coming up to the line, and Mike Scott, Rob Duncan pulling it tight too.
Well, they haven't been throwing the football, so they're all coming up on the line of scrimmage. 2nd down, about 8. 32-yard line for the Whalers. D'Angelo will throw it under the gun. He's going to be sacked by Ian Young. Young, who came on the corner blitz, and he gets himself a sack. D'Angelo back at the 20-yard line. Big play there by number 24. There you see him. Ian Young on the corner blitz just at the right time.
Young and Hopkins have both been able to come in on that play, Sam. Someone not picking them up. You see number 24, Ian Young, and Brian Hopkins. Little
high five and all around there, yeah.
Helmet hitting. Saying, nice job.
The old headbutt, made famous by another number 9. Remember him?
Nope.
McMahon.
Oh, yes.
The former Chicago Bear, now Minnesota Viking. Back to throw. Again, D'Angelo under pressure. And boy, did he take a rip at the 20-yard line.
The question is if he'll get up, Sam. He did take a shot.
Is that Kamisi Good that hit him, number 30? It was either Good or Ian Young again. And you're right, D'Angelo had his bell rung. And we hope the young man's okay. We certainly don't wish any ill health on D'Angelo, but boy, what a defensive hit by Ian Young or Kamisi Good. I didn't see who got there first, but they're going to have to attend to D'Angelo as he took a pop at the 20. And while they do, we'll take this break. 6:14 to go, third quarter. The score, Fitch Falcons 14 to London Whalers 3. Back after this. Back at Dorr Field, and there you see Damian D'Angelo coming off the field. Got his bell rung.
And more.
Yeah, quite a pop. Number 11, the backup quarterback is Nick Gray.
Or possibly Joe Bustamante.
Possibly. And a good shot of Damian D'Angelo being attended on the sidelines. And he was out on his feet there for quite some time. And they'll kick it. Bustamante from his own 5 under pressure gets it away. A nice kick. Good hang time. It hits at the 45 and takes a nice New London roll. Down about the 30. They'll drop it. They'll call it dead right about the 30-yard line. So 5:55 to go. And with a 14-3 lead, and the Whalers with a possible question of their starting quarterback being able to perform here, things looking pretty good for the Fitch Falcons.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on him down the sideline right in front of us, Sam, and he's being talked to, and they're just trying to make sure that he is, in fact, okay. He got hit high. The team physician at Fitch Falcons over talking to him right now.
Yep, that's the kind of hit that you wake up and you say, hey, did you get the number of that bus? 1st and 10 at the 30 for the Falcons, who lead it 14-3. Wilson back to throw, shovels it off to Mike Jones. Incomplete. And it looked like Wilson might have had thoughts of going deep there. He pump faked it once and then kind of just dumped it off to Jones. And it looked like even Jones didn't expect to get the pass.
No,
he just dropped it.
Yeah, Jones looking like he was getting ready to block. Wilson had to scramble to his right, but again, as you mentioned, lofted it over to him just a little bit too high, and probably just as well. Didn't look like there was much running room.
All righty. They'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from their own 30. 5:31 to go here in the third quarter. Jones gets hit in the backfield, and he'll lose a couple. Ed Nena's there, Sean Roach is there.
And with the possibility of the Whalers starting quarterback out of the action for the second half here, the Whaler defense got to tighten it up just a little bit more. Look at your scoreboard, 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and the home Falcons lead at 14-3.
Coming up now, a third down and about 12 for Anthony Wilson and company. Wilson on the rollout. Now he cuts it back. And he's going to be stopped right at the 25-yard line. And a little bit of extracurricular activity there. I think it was Rogers Cox and Sean Roach getting into it a little bit. As a few tempers flaring a little bit.
And Sam, now the Whalers have number 12, Keith Mitchell, loosening up right in front of us. And he's a 5'6" sophomore for the Whalers, 135-pounder.
So we'll wait and see who the Whalers put in at quarterback.
He's taking some snaps.
Yep. Loosening up on the sidelines. Here's Wilson's kick. It's a short one. So it'll take a good Falcon roll, and it'll be down on the 41-yard line. So fairly good field position for the Whalers. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line with 3:58 to go here in the third quarter.
So I'm sure that when old number 12, young number 12, Keith Mitchell suited up to come over to Dorr Field today in Groton, never thought he might be playing quarterback in this Turkey Day contest.
But he will be.
There he goes.
As he trots onto the field.
Big day for the Mitchell family, and if you'd like a tape of today's ball game, give us a call, 449-1477. Anyone can give us a call, any of the games we've done this year. And Frank Machini, glad to talk to you.
Always on the cell, huh, big fella?
Well, got to take care of the expenses. Got to pay the bills.
That's right. 1st and 10. Mitchell under center, his first snap. And I tell you what, he just got run over by his offensive guard. And Hopkins made the tackle, but Keith Mitchell looked like he turned the wrong way and just got tangled up with his pulling guard. And Mitchell just got lost underneath the pile-up.
Now it looks like Bustamante will go in for quarterback.
All righty. Bustamante will come from the split end position to play QB. And in for him is number 44, Oscar Santiago. So Santiago comes in at the end position. Bustamante will play some quarterback. And you got to expect this kind of thing to happen when you got a new signal caller. The legal procedure will go against the Whalers.
Looked like a little pulling that time by number 79, Jackson McAdam. And as you mentioned, Sam, change in the cadence, and that'll do it.
Yep. The offensive line folks not used to Bustamante, the signal caller, and they jumped a little bit early.
We mentioned Joe Bustamante with a touchdown pass in that Killingley game, so we know he can catch it. We also know certainly that he can receive it.
Question is, can he throw it? They're going to need some big yardage here on 2nd down and 25 yards to go from their own 30. The handoff goes to, is that Hairston again? 35? And he gets swallowed up. Hairston lost a yard.
So the Falcons lead at 14-3. The New Orleans Whalers looking to replace the starting quarterback, Damon D'Angelo, who was taken out on a quite a shot.
2:10 to go, third quarter, 14-3. The Falcons with a comfortable lead, especially when you consider the Whaler first-string quarterback is out of the ball game right now. Here's Hairston again, breaks the tackle line of scrimmage, gets 2 or 3 more yards, then takes a pop from Ian Young. And I tell you, things are getting a little bit ugly now. Some talking going on down there.
That's called woofing, Sam. And Anthony Wilson talking to the friends from New London, and Brian Hopkins on the tackle over that part of the
Think they're talking about what kind of gravy they want on their turkey dinner today?
Absolutely.
That's it, probably. Pass the cranberry sauce.
So it looks like the Whalers are going to have to punt it away, but again, Bustamonte's your quarterback, so never know what they might be pulling up here.
They put the rush on, and they do block it. So they run into Bustamonte, but they did block the punt.
Now Bustamonte is down.
Boy, oh boy. Ian Young got the hand on it, and Bustamonte down on a heap.
Jack Barkley did, however, immediately signal that there was contact with the ball, so on that particular case, the punter is fair game, and D'Angelo goes down on the previous possession, and now Bustamonte's down.
Certainly not a good omen for the Whalers, and not the type of thing you like to see, especially in the last game of the season. Like to go out with a little sparkle, a little panache. 1:06 to go here, third quarter. We'll keep it here for a moment. Why don't we take a break? While they work on Joe Bustamonte, we'll remind you our score. The London Whalers trailing this one. It's 14-3 Fitch. We'll be back right after this. Field and Groton, Joe Bustamonte came off under his own power.
It looked like it was a bit fired up too, Sam. That may be what the Whalers need to get them going offensively.
All right, let's see what happens. 1st and 10 for the Falcons at the 45-yard line. Jones with the carry, and short yardage for Mike down inside the 45 to about the 44. Under a minute to go, third quarter. 14-3 your score.
McCoy that time out deep for the Fitch Falcons, covered step by step by Eric Cornish, and they had a nice little conversation, a little pat on the back as they separated, and that's what you also like to see here at these high school games.
2nd and 8. Bridgers in motion, and here's Drab. Big hole for Drab, and just as he made his cut, he slipped and fell. Otherwise, he would have had much more yardage than he ended up getting. But as it was, he's about a yard shy of a first down.
So if you just tuned in, Mike Jones put the Fitch Falcons on the board with 10:27 in the third quarter. Extra point by Anthony Hall was good, making it 14-13. And we should mention Mike Jones has run 43 yards, and that followed a nice run by G.Drab, who also ran it about 43 yards.
And there's the whistle ending the third quarter of play. So 3 quarters are in the history books from Dorr, Field and Groton. Your score, the Fitch Falcons 14. For the London Whalers 3. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this.
The coaching staff of the Fitch Falcons thinking about that lead they had over the Ledyard Curls that didn't stand up, so they'll be trying to score here if they can.
3rd down and short. Bridgers again in motion. And again, the Drab gets the call, and I don't know. Kevin Drab met right at the line of scrimmage and pushed backward. And I don't think he got it.
G.Drab that time ran into a solid wall, and as a matter of fact, looked like he might have lost a step or two.
Zach Gregan and Ed Nenna closed that hole right up. There was no place for him to go, and he lost a couple. So 4th down, and we'll call it a long 2.
Hopkins into the ball game. He's got good height advantage over the Whalers secondary.
Yep. You called him the last time in the game against the Ledyard Colonels, and he caught a pass for a big gain. Wilson hands it off to Jones, and Mike Jones may have himself a touchdown. Yes, he does. Mike Jones on 4th and short takes it in from 36 yards out, and that may seal the victory. 30-plus yards, 35-plus. What'd you have officially, 39, Bill?
I had 39 on the 4th and about 3, Sam.
Yep. So Mike Jones on the 4th and short play takes it over. And the Falcons have been scoring from long distance all afternoon. That was a 39-yarder. We had a 40-yarder, 40-plus yarder by Jones earlier in the ball game to make it 14-3. And the other touchdown was a 60-yard pass play. Extra point, no good, as Hall got all tangled up with McCoy. So with 11:10 to go, the Falcons stretch their lead, and it may be insurmountable now. Your score with 11:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Fitch now 20, and New London 3. Back in a moment.
Davis Smith Forte Agency and the Esposito Insurance Agencies are now one to serve you better. Hello, I'm Jack Scott. That special service when you need it, a better price and coverage for your auto and home insurance and all forms of business insurance coverage. We're not an 800 number, we're right here. All policy changes, claims, and coverage questions are handled here in our local office in Groton, London, or Waterford. Davis Smith Forte, Esposito Agency, and the Bailey Agency.
Back at Dorr Field in Groton, Sam Gingerella, Bill Donovan. It'll be a tall order to come back from a 17-point deficit without your first-string quarterback.
And
But that's what's facing the Whalers here with 11:10 to go. Here's Hall's kick. Martinez with trouble. Picks it up with his 15. Into the wedge. Gets it out to about the 25.
And Sam, the tee on that kickoff went down to the Whaler 43-yard line. Mike Jones, it should be noted, in the second half with touchdown scores from 43 yards out and 39 yards out. So
big afternoon for Mike.
We may see Mike Jones's name on that Thames Award for 1993 from the Fitch Falcons.
Yeah.
If things stand up as they are.
Oh, yeah.
No indication that they're going to turn around anytime soon.
So far he's got my vote, Sam.
Yeah, I think I'd go along with that.
He's had a big year.
And again, Keith Mitchell, number 12, is your quarterback. Back to throw. Launches a missile downfield, and he completes it at the 40-yard line. And that's Luis Martinez. So Keith Mitchell showing that he has an arm. He goes ballistic, and it's a first down for the Whalers at the 40-yard line, inside the Falcon 40, about the 38. But a flag on the play. And we may have an unsportsmanlike call against Martinez as he came up talking some trash mouth to Wilson, and you can't do that. They just don't allow that kind of talking in high school football. And that'll cost the Whalers some of that yardage. But a good-looking pass by young Keith Mitchell.
Yep, just rolled back and fired a strike, and beautifully thrown ball.
And we'll have to see what the call is going to be. It's going to be against the Whalers. Unsportsmanlike conduct is what I think it's going to be, because the flag was thrown just as Martinez came up and started jawing with Anthony Wilson.
And Sam, that unofficially the fourth first down of the ball game for the Whalers, and when you figure they put 33 points, I believe, on the board against Killingly in their last ball game, that just shows what a great job the Fitch Falcon defense has done here today.
So Martinez comes to the sidelines, and I'm sure Coach Bunicor is going to have a few words for Lewis. Hey, make the catch, keep your mouth shut, come back to the line of scrimmage.
And D'Angelo did take a couple of throws here just before this previous play down the sideline.
Back to throw again is Mitchell. Uncorks it on the sideline. Wilson has an interception. Anthony Wilson runs it back to about the 48-yard line. And another flag, two flags on the field. And again, some extracurricular activities. This time, Hopkins involved with number 83. Mike Barnhill. And it's time for the Zebras to take control of things here, because tempers are beginning to get out of hand.
And foolishly, Sam, that penalty took place way behind where Wilson had intercepted and was running it, so there was just a foolish mistake.
What, a clipping call or something? Didn't exactly see what it was.
Yep, it was a clip.
Yep.
Wilson's second interception of the ball game. The Northern Whalers also had a fumble recovery earlier.
And Anthony Wilson was just back there waiting for that one.
Got to try to keep the ball away from Anthony Wilson. He's got those good hands. Good athlete.
Yep. And he's only a sophomore. He'll be back 2 more seasons.
Ooh.
That's bad news for a lot of...
Look out, area teams.
A lot of the... I'm sure the other teams in the ECC are going, oh my goodness, 2 more years of this guy?
Yeah, this In fact, I want to pull this little sheet out here so we can play this tape back a couple of years from now. This is the way I think the ECC is going to look up the next couple of years. Next year, Fitch, Ledyard, New London, Killingly, East Lyme, St. Bernard, NFA, Stonington, and Montville. And then 2 years from now, Fitch, Ledyard, Killingly, East Lyme, New London, St. Bernard, NFA, Stonington, and Montville. That's a look at the ECC for the next 2 years.
All right. Mike Jones with the carry, and Mike Jones going to be hitting the backfield for a loss. And that's Aaron Hairston making the stop.
And why did I write that out?
I don't know.
Old TD was asking me the other night, Dad, how do you think we're going to be when we're seniors? Think we're going to win it all? I said, Todd, let me write it down, and I'll tell you who's going to win it the next 2 years.
I notice East Lyme's not on there.
They're 4th or 5th. And,
all right.
You've got to respect New London, Fitch, Ledyard. They're powerhouses. NFA is a sleeping giant. St. Bernard Saints may do it next year. They've got some good talent. And Waterford Lancers, you never count them out either. So it's a pretty balanced league.
Yep.
And this has been the year, Sam, when I can't believe, like the old NFL, you never know what's going to happen in the NFL or the ECC on a given day. Some of these victories this year have just been unpredictable as far as teams winning a big game and then losing a game they should have won, and that's going on all year long.
And an official timeout on the field right now. I don't know exactly.
So the Falcons got the ball on an interception, good yardage gain by Wilson, but as it turns out, Sam, they now have, looks like about a 2nd and 20, so they're going backwards. Got the comfortable lead, though. They lead at 23-3.
20-3.
20-3, I'm sorry.
It's all right. We all make mistakes. Ball back at the 20-yard line, 2nd down, and you're right, about 20 yards to go. Mike Jones breaks the tackle line of scrimmage. Mike Jones out near the 31-yard line.
What the Falcon offense is doing is spreading the receivers out a little bit, which is giving Mike Jones a chance to run it up the middle. If he gets by that initial secondary, he can break it. And as he already has, he's broken it twice, once for 43 and once for 39.
Sam Franklin made the stop.
Hey, your namesake.
Yep. I'm sure they named him after me.
Yeah. Right.
3rd down, about 15. Wilson back to throw. Loops it over the middle, man wide open. Rogers Cox has a 1st down midfield. Breaking tackles, Cox down to the 40-yard line. Finally knocked down by Sean Roach there. But a fine catch and run by Rogers Cox, and it's 1st and 10 Falcons at the New London 39-yard line.
And Sam, that loss of D'Angelo back in the 3rd quarter with 5:55 on the clock has made a difference in the way the Whalers have been performing here. It seems like they need a timeout to talk about. They've tried a couple different quarterbacks, and as we mentioned, D'Angelo was up and threw a couple down below, and let's see whether or not he gets back into the ball game. And if he does, I'm sure he'll be going to the air.
Well, he would have to at this point. Trailing by 17, they need 3 scores. Mike Scott, the off-tackle slant play, gets it down about the 36, maybe 34-yard line.
And this reminder that Sam and I and the sports crew here at Star Cable 36 will be down in West Haven to see the Ledyard Colonels go for a Class MM championship.
Nope, I believe that game's to be played at Southern Connecticut
Southern,
State.
Okay, Southern Connecticut State.
That's right.
We won't be on the water this year.
No. Joe Edwards was the man who made the tackle on that last play for the Whalers. Southern Connecticut State University, the Owls.
And we may be indoors again in the presidential booth.
Yep. Nice field. Artificial turf.
Last time we were there, a great game against Newtown.
Oh, boy. That was an exciting ball game. That rates number 2 on my list of exciting games. Number 1, of course, was that Ledyard Fitch game a couple weeks back. Craig Drab with the call, and Drab just kind of hung out to dry by the offensive line that time, as no blocking up front. Sean Roach and a whole bunch of people just nailed him right at the line of scrimmage.
And that loss by the Fitch Falcons, and also the loss to the Waterford Lancers the previous week, were the 2 things that prevented the Fitch Falcons from getting into a postseason championship game. And I'm sure they can measure their success by seeing how Ledyard does as they take on an unnamed opponent in the Class MM championship.
3rd down and long. Wilson back to throw, gets it away. That one hangs up, incomplete. intended for Brian Hopkins. Good defensive positioning back there by Cornish. And no real chance for that one to be completed. That'll bring up fourth down. It'll be fourth and about 6.
So I'd have to say if the Falcons hold on for the victory today, they'll be the best 8-2 team in the state.
That's a pretty safe call on your part. I'm sure somewhere, though, there's somebody in this state that's going to say, hey, my boys over here are a better 8-2 team than your boys are. Well, but you're right. Fitch, very talented ball club. They set up the screen on the near side to Jones. He breaks the initial wall. Jones has the first down and more down near the 10-yard line. So Mike Jones with another key carry. And you're right. I think he may be walking away with some medal.
He will be.
A trophy today, probably.
I think he'll be the recipient of that Thames Award. That'll be the first time since the Otis Dixon back in 1986, if in fact it happens.
Toby Bickham was the guy who made the stop, number 2 for the Whalers. And Mike Jones has had a banner morning and afternoon. This will be a Thanksgiving he won't forget. He's earned his turkey dinner. Here's G.Drab. He breaks the tackle line of scrimmage. It's down around the 10-yard line.
And Sam, most of these Fitch Falcons will be back for the next couple of years.
Yeah, they've got a good nucleus.
Jones is only a junior. Anthony Wilson, as you mentioned earlier, only a sophomore. And
right.
Ian Young, I think, is a sophomore. And their JV and freshman programs are looking good, and also youth football. So Fitch Falcons are going to be a powerhouse here in the ECC for at least the next 5 or 6 years. I'll put myself out on a limb today. Thanksgiving Day.
I mean, they're going to have a dynasty like they did in the mid-70s?
Yes, they will.
Okay. Remember, you heard it here, folks, from Bill Donovan.
I gave you my predictions for the next 2 years.
Whistles and flags. Could be delay of game. It took a lot of time in the huddle.
And it looks like it's going to be Fitch and Ledyard for the next couple of years in the ECC unless something drastic happens with some of the other programs, because they are just strong.
Yeah.
And it's too bad that they can't have 2 champions, but
nope.
Ledyard and Fitch are going to be tough next year. And maybe East Lyme a couple years down the road. East Lyme's got a great freshman program and a very good crop of sophomore players, but they're still going to have to contend against...
Including one from the Donovan clan.
Old number 3. And boy, I'll tell you, it hurt not watching his game today, but we'll catch him the next 2 years.
The show must go on, though, Bobo.
That's it.
You're a trooper.
Duty calls.
You're a trooper.
And thanks to Mike McLaughlin, who offered to let me go over and watch the second half of that game, but we'll get a tape from Mike Devaney of the East Lyme Vikings, and we'll watch it over the weekend.
Legal procedure, so it's 2nd and long. Anthony Wilson was going to throw, takes it down, now running with it inside the 10 to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Goes the sophomore. Still going to be about 6, maybe 7 yards shy of a first down.
And Sam, when making the arrangements to be here today with Mike Ellis during the week, I now know how Mike feels the years he was coaching here at Fitch and his sons were playing over at Stonington High School. It's tough when you're in the media or you're coaching and your sons are playing for another team and you're not there. But let's hope things went well over at Waterford High School today for the Lancers and the Vikings.
Here's the pitch to Jones on 3rd down and long. He cuts it back. It's going to be short of a first down. Another nifty run by Mike Jones as he broke 2 or 3 tackles on his way down close to the flag, but it's going to be about a half a yard shy, I believe. So a 4th down and about a half yard. And the Falcons call timeout. So with 3:47 to go, we've got a timeout on the field to score. Fitch Falcons 20, New London Whalers 3, back in 30 seconds.
Hi, I'm Larry Olshan, President of National Tire. National Tire is not just a tire company. We're a complete automotive service facility. Our mechanics are ASA certified, and we're also an AAA repair facility. We also do complete automotive services such as brakes, tune-ups, front ends, diagnostic, major repairs, and we also, when you bring your car in, do a complete safety check, because safety is our first concern. So when you're thinking about tires or any automotive repair, call National Tire.
Back at Dorr Field in Groton, Falcons came up short on 4th and short. Whalers take over on downs with 2:51 to go. This one probably was settled right at the end of the first half when they scored their second touchdown, Bo. Made it 14-3.
Yes, it was. In the first half, the Whalers contained Mike Jones, and Fitch Falcons scored on that touchdown pass from Wilson to Calvin McCoy, but the second half has belonged to the Fitch Falcons and Mike Jones. Jones with a touchdown run of 43 yards with 10:27 left on the clock in the third quarter, and then as the early stage of the fourth quarter got underway, 11:10 on the clock, Jones ran for 39 yards and putting the score at 20-3 Fitch Falcons, and that's where we are right now.
20-3 your score, 2 minutes to go. And we have an announcement coming up after this play. The pitch out goes to Hairston. Couldn't get the number right away. Aaron Hairston gets out of bounds. After a pickup of 3 or 4, it'll be 4th down and about 7. And Bobo?
Well, I had to fill in our vote, but Al Vescovi, the Thames Award chairman, is going with the trophy down below, and we don't want to make the announcement unless they may be going to the print media and the radio side. So let's wait and
all righty. 1:55 to go. Whalers will punt it. Hits at the 35. Rolls back toward the London Whalers side. And is down at about the 30-yard line. So the Fitch Falcons will end up the season with an 8-2 record. For the London Whalers, they're going to end up right at the 500 mark, and that's the first time that's happened in quite a while for a Whaler football team. A little bit of a down year for them, but they came back strong. 3 victories out of the last 4. They're going to be pretty pleased with that.
Yes, they did, and as you mentioned during the telecast today, Sam, it's been the big play, the big pass play from Wilson to McCoy, then the 2 big running plays by Mike Jones, and also Greg Drab had a big running play earlier for a first down that set up a score, so that Fitch Falcons were contained for the most part by the Whaler defense, but those 3 big plays that made the difference here as the Falcons lead at 20-3 with just under a minute and a half left in the ball game.
Scoring from long distance. Here's Scott. Good move at the line of scrimmage. Breaks off about an 8-yard run.
And it's been a fun season as we wind down our regular season here on Star Cable and also on Eastern Connecticut Cable 25. And Thanksgiving.
One more game to go.
One more game to go, that being a state championship game. And special thanks go out today to Larry Olshin and also Jack Scott.
.51 seconds to go. Scoreboard tells the story here at Dorr Field. 20-3, a 17-point lead, and that's probably the way it's going to end up, unless the Falcons push one over again. And who knows, they could. They've been scoring from long distance, as you mentioned, Bill, all afternoon and all morning long.
And
a 60-yard touchdown pass, about a 40-yard touchdown run, then about a 39-yard touchdown run by Jones, 2 of them.
Yep.
For the 3 scores.
And this will be the first victory for the Fitch Falcons over the Whalers since 1986. And I think a sign of the Fitch Falcons of the future in the 90s here at Groton, Connecticut. Over on the other side of the field, a couple of the coaches got the ice treatment. That might be our commissioner. It is. It's our commissioner, Steve McDermott.
Uh-oh. Second string people in now for the Falcons as they run out the clock. 43 seconds and the clock running.
And if we can get a look at that Fitch Falcon coaching staff on the sideline, Frank.
Well, maybe not. They're all wet now.
A little bit cold over there.
Oh, they're going to be very cold in a few minutes. They don't get to the locker room in a hurry. So they're probably telling the kids on the field, hey, run the ball.
That's probably, there they are. There's a good call. And Steve McDermott, the ECC commissioner, the gentleman with the beard in the middle of your picture, with his hands up in the air, and he's a happy gentleman today.
I guess. Clock rolling down. They won't even bother to snap it again. And here comes another bucket on the sidelines. The bucket play is really the one to watch here as the time runs out. And the Fitch Falcons end their season with a victory over the London Whalers, the first one in the past 6 years. You know they're going to be happy. Mike Emery and company finishing off what has to be one of their best seasons in quite a while as they finish at 8-2. The Whalers rounding things out at 5-5. And for the Fitch Falcons, lots of things to look forward to in the future, and I'm sure the Whalers are going to put their heads together and come up with a ball club that'll be at least representative and competitive in the years to come. But for the Whalers on this afternoon, they come up 17 points short. That's the end of the football game. Your score, the Fitch Falcons 20 and the New London Whalers 3. We'll be back with post-game activity right after this.
The Bailey